So today we are here in the creative layer of Stage to Sell, Jason Saft's amazing staging company that we use all the time for our listings.
Yeah. Some of the time.
Because Jason is one of the top luxury stagers in the United States. Was actually named the top luxury stager in the United States by the Wall Street Journal, and you've been featured in many publications, the New York Times, Vogue, Forbes. Yeah. You're everywhere, and we are just so happy to do
your
that.
Family's newsletter, year-end newsletter.
Exactly. And I think today, what we really thought would be interesting is to come to where all of the staging starts, the ideas, where everything exists, and talk to Jason about the nitty-gritty, because I think a lot of people understand, staging, they come in, they rush around, they put furniture in, but there's so much thought that goes behind how we stage, who we're staging for, and Jason is such a big believer in really knowing your audience.
Yeah, it's interesting. It starts here, but I think one of the things I enjoy so much on our projects is they've gone such the scope. I mean, we've done things from estate sales where someone has lived in the apartment for 3 or 4 decades, passed away in the apartment has fallen by the wayside, and it's a complete gut job, to a $40 million trophy duplex in one of the most esteemed, downtown buildings where someone opens a door for you while you're halfway down the block.
It really runs.
And so it's such an incredible cross section, and that's to me one of the interesting things about being able to do these. We're often doing those all simultaneously. Like on any given week, we can be in 4 different projects that can be from here to there, aesthetically, price point, geographically. And with my work, like we're looking at them all as those and who's coming there, and then creating something very specific for that buyer, that audience, that price point that feels contextual and feels authentic. And so your brain's split in these different ways, because it's not like you're just regurgitating the same thing over and over in every project and just saying a couch is a couch and a picture is a picture. Right. Like there's very much a deep thought that goes into it's like method acting.
Yeah, and I think some of the most exciting projects that we've done with you over the years are some of the smallest. Like I remember on Riverside Drive, we did this great pre-war 1-bedroom with like an original kitchen, and you brought in things like an old tube television to go in the living room, and painted the kitchen an old color that really accented all the old cabinets, and that really just hit a nerve with buyers, and something that really needed work.
Right.
We were able to sell very
that was a
quickly.
Total gut job, but I think that comes from a love and understanding of architecture and design, and that original kitchen that I think there's obviously an audience that would say like rip that out, or would just walk out of the apartment, or might see a picture and not click contact agent. Right? Like that's, or you can take that aesthetic, that old porcelain wash basin sink, those old pine cabinets, and then bring in a modern color and offset it with modern photography. That was the thing, like the 4 red phones that were overneath it, and there was a sharp contrast. And to me, I understand that there are so many people that love preserving those details, that are coming specifically for those details, that turn off a whole other buyer.
Right.
But I know if I can connect with that audience, that apartment transacted for something that's seen a renovation in the last few decades.
When I think of the way you stage it's layered. It's not just, you don't just throw something on the wall or stick a piece of furniture in a room. There's layers to it, and I think it really creates a design moment that you don't always get with staging, and I think people always respond to that.
Yeah.
It was great to hear more about your thoughts on the details of staging, and we'd love to have you show everyone around and see what you do here.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Stage to Sell Home Warehouse. Jason Saft, founder here. So want to give you a little tour and show you around a little bit. So the way we have this organized and structured, the most used things are up front, where we take a lot of pieces. So we have all of our accessories, art books, small books, everything labeled here on the sides, so that we know when we're building out a project, we're able to come in over here We can look in our database and cross-reference the name of the piece. Over here, we have all of our faux florals. We like to make a lot of things in advance so we can just pick up and go. We move into our lighting and screens, chairs and side tables. So now we are at headboards. So all of our bedding is in one separate space, but we have a lot of headboards. So they all start here. These are our queens. This is a queen, that's a queens. So everything here is labeled. We know all the queens are in one size, kings are a little bit taller, and then they're all broken down and organized by color. And then over here leads us into kitchens, bathrooms, and tools. And so basically we have everything up on shelves. We have a few moments in the office where we keep things sort of like decorative and fun and try not to make it all storage space, but we're able to just come in here, pull all of our kitchen pieces, a lot of our standard pieces of art that we use to fill in all the hallways, all the small areas. When people ask us to come in and stage an apartment, they often think about just main rooms, but those little common spaces, all those twists and turns, they're equally as important as the living room. They're what gives the space heart. They soften up cold spaces. They really add warmth, layers, and texture. So we're really big on putting things in places where people should and expect to see them, and make every single part of someone's home and their project look and feel really aspirational. So this is probably the messiest space right now. This is the bedroom. This is where we keep all of our bedding supplies, and while it is sort of disorganized because we brought so much back, it's actually quite organized. So all the main components that we use, they're numbered in pieces. We know which elements we need to bring in for a bedroom, and these are standard things. Now, where no matter what, we keep fully organized, super detailed, are all of the accent pieces and all of the things that make a bedroom, the difference between an adult's room, a kid's room, the difference between an Upper East Side luxury condominium versus a starter apartment in the East Village, all the shams, all the decorative elements. Again, we sort of look at things of, there's the standard functional core pieces like the pillows, but over here is where we get really creative and where we think about who's coming there, what neighborhood are we in, what does the architecture look like, what is the configuration of the home, and then we just sort of get creative.
A big thank you to Jason and his team for having us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and we've got a lot of more fun stuff coming up with these guys, so follow along and we'll bring you some beautiful new homes.